You won't believe what's happening right now, because the Saweetie allegations have sent shockwaves through the entire entertainment world. Fans are in complete disbelief, social media is on fire, and even her closest friends are allegedly turning their backs. What started as a small rumor has spiraled into one of the wildest celebrity dramas we've seen this year, involving secret recordings, shocking betrayal, and claims that could completely change how fans see Saweetie forever. It all began just a few days ago, when an anonymous insider dropped what they called receipts, private messages, voice notes, and behind-the-scenes clips that supposedly reveal a darker side of the Icy Girl rapper. And ever since, the internet hasn't stopped talking. People are digging into every lyric, every old tweet, and even old interviews, trying to connect the dots. Some are defending her, others are calling her out, and a few are saying this could end careers. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Who leaked this, and what's the truth behind these so-called wild allegations? Because if what insiders are saying is true, this isn't just about fame, it's about betrayal, power, and revenge at the highest level of the industry. It all started on a random Monday morning, when fans noticed something strange on Saweetie's Instagram. A series of mysterious posts appeared and disappeared within minutes. Blurry screenshots, voice memos, and cryptic captions like, "They thought I wouldn't find out," and "Loyalty means nothing anymore." The posts vanished almost as quickly as they appeared, but not before the internet caught them. Within an hour, the screenshots were everywhere, and hashtags like Saweetie Secret and Icy Truth began trending across Twitter and TikTok. Nobody knew exactly what it meant, but people could feel that something explosive was coming. By noon, a popular gossip page claimed they had exclusive evidence of a major fallout between Saweetie and someone from her inner circle. At first, fans assumed it was just another messy breakup rumor or industry beef. But then came the audio clip. A distorted voice message, allegedly from Saweetie herself, leaked online. In it, she could be heard saying, "If they want to play with my name, I'll burn everything down." Her tone was calm but dangerous, the kind of anger that sounds colder than shouting. And that one line set the internet ablaze. People began speculating who they was. Some pointed fingers at her management team, others said it might be an ex, and a few even claimed it involved a high-profile female artist she recently collaborated with. Whatever it was, it didn't sound like normal industry drama. The way Saweetie spoke in that clip, controlled, deliberate, and almost threatening, made it sound like something personal. Then, a close friend of hers, who goes by the name Kay, started liking shady tweets. One of them read, "Funny how some people pretend to be sweet when they're the coldest ones in the room." That was enough for fans to dig deeper. Soon after, a supposed former assistant stepped forward on a live stream saying she couldn't keep quiet anymore. Her name was Jada, and what she claimed shocked everyone watching. She said she'd worked for Saweetie for 2 years, and during that time, she allegedly saw things the world would never believe. According to Jada, there were constant fights behind the scenes, screaming matches, broken phones, and even moments where Saweetie allegedly threatened to expose people in her own team. She said that after one of these blowouts, she was fired with no explanation and forced to sign an NDA. But Jada claimed she had proof and hinted that she wasn't afraid to use it anymore. As soon as her live went viral, Saweetie's fans rushed to defend her, calling Jada a liar and an attention seeker. But then, Jada dropped something that made everyone pause. A blurry clip of what seemed to be Saweetie arguing with 2 people inside a studio. The audio was muffled, but you could clearly hear someone yelling, "You promised me that track wouldn't drop." And another voice shouting back, "You broke your word first." The video cut off before revealing who else was in the room, but the background looked eerily similar to the studio where Saweetie filmed behind-the-scenes footage for one of her music videos. That small detail sent fans into a frenzy, analyzing every frame, comparing wall patterns, and even zooming into the reflection of a mirror to guess who the other person might be. The leading theory? A producer she had once credited as family. While fans were dissecting the clip, a well-known producer named Dre posted a cryptic message on his story. Funny how some people act icy but melt under pressure. Within minutes, gossip pages linked the dots. People started posting side-by-side timelines, Saweetie's deleted posts, Jada's claims, Dre's story, and the narrative started forming. According to online detectives, there had been tension for months between Saweetie and her creative team over ownership of unreleased music. Apparently, there were accusations of someone stealing beats, manipulating contracts, and leaking snippets without consent. Still, no one expected how fast things would spiral. That night, Dre went live on Instagram and dropped what he called his truth. In front of 30,000 viewers, he claimed that Saweetie had tried to sabotage one of his projects because he refused to give her full credit on a song they'd worked on together. He said, she wanted control over everything: the sound, the narrative, even who could post about it. When I pushed back, she flipped. Then he did something unexpected. He played a short snippet of a private phone call between him and Saweetie. Her voice was unmistakable. She said, "If you move without me, I'll make sure you regret it." Dre paused, looked straight into the camera, and said, "Tell me that's not a threat." The comment section exploded instantly. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. By the next morning, the clip was trending everywhere. Some said Dre was just bitter. Others believed him completely. Saweetie, however, stayed silent. No tweets, no posts, no statements, just silence. And that made people even more suspicious. 2 days later, an alleged insider posted on a private forum, claiming the situation was deeper than anyone knew. They said the so-called wild allegations weren't just about stolen music or betrayal. They involved manipulation, money, and hidden relationships. According to this anonymous source, Saweetie had been using her influence to control narratives, silence people, and keep certain secrets buried. Then, out of nowhere, another name entered the conversation: her cousin Tiana. Fans dug up old photos showing Tiana and Saweetie together at family gatherings, smiling, close, inseparable. But Tiana posted a shocking tweet that read, "Sometimes blood doesn't mean loyalty." Within minutes, people were questioning whether even her own family was turning against her. As the tension built, paparazzi caught Saweetie leaving a studio in Los Angeles looking visibly upset. She kept her head down, ignored the cameras, and got into her car without saying a word. One reporter shouted, "Are the allegations true?" She didn't answer. But someone inside the car muttered, "This isn't over." That one line became the headline everywhere. "This isn't over." Later that night, a few fans claimed to have seen her at a private event, confronting someone in the parking lot. A blurry clip showed two figures arguing before security stepped in. Although the video was too dark to confirm identities, the voice of the woman shouting sounded eerily like Saweetie's. One line was faintly audible. "You think you can betray me and get away with it?" The internet erupted again. Speculation turned into chaos. Every influencer and gossip page had a new theory. Was this about stolen art, betrayal by a friend, or something even darker? People started connecting it to an older incident from years ago, when Saweetie had a falling out with another artist but never explained why. Some claimed this was all karma catching up. Meanwhile, brands that had previously partnered with her quietly began removing her from promotional posts. Fans noticed her name disappearing from upcoming lineups and endorsements. It was as if the industry itself was stepping back to watch what would happen next. What made it even stranger was that through it all, Saweetie refused to break her silence. Her official team released a short statement saying, "We are aware of the circulating misinformation. Legal action is being taken." But that only raised more questions. Misinformation about what? Who was being targeted legally? And why didn't they deny the allegations directly? By the end of that week, everyone was talking. Celebrities, influencers, even journalists who normally ignored gossip. It had gone beyond drama. It had become a cultural moment. Memes were circulating, reaction videos were everywhere, and one clip of Jada crying on live saying, "I wish I never got involved," had over 10 million views. And yet, despite all the noise, one thing was clear: something big was still hidden. The clues, the cryptic messages, the silences. It all felt like the calm before an even bigger storm. What nobody knew was that part 2 of this story would make the first wave look tame. Because the next revelation wouldn't just question Saweetie's loyalty or relationships. It would tear apart everything people thought they knew about her entire image. They knew about her entire image. The next wave of drama hit on a Friday afternoon, when a well-known entertainment blog posted what they claimed was the missing piece to the puzzle. A 7-minute voice memo allegedly recorded during a heated argument between Saweetie and her cousin Tiana. The post went viral within minutes. The audio was raw, emotional, and full of tension. It began with Tiana saying, "You can't keep blaming everyone else. At some point, you have to admit what you did." Saweetie's voice, calm but cutting, responded, "You think you know everything because you were there for a few studio sessions? You don't know half of what really happened." The two went back and forth, voices rising, emotions flaring. At one point, Saweetie said, "They were supposed to stay loyal. That's all I asked." But once the money came in, everyone switched up. Tiana shot back, "Loyalty goes both ways, Saweetie. You can't destroy people and call it business." Those few seconds alone sent shockwaves online. Fans couldn't believe that her own cousin was involved in the controversy. And suddenly, the story didn't just sound like a professional fallout. It sounded personal, like something rooted in family betrayal. By the next morning, Tiana posted a follow-up message on her private account that read, "Sometimes the truth needs to be heard, no matter who it hurts." And that was it. She deleted her account right after. The post only stayed up for 10 minutes, but screenshots spread everywhere. Within hours, influencers were dissecting the audio, arguing whether it was real or fabricated. Some swore they recognized Saweetie's voice instantly, while others said it sounded edited, but no one could ignore how real the emotions felt. Then, out of nowhere, another shocking revelation surfaced. A journalist from an independent podcast claimed that a source close to the situation had reached out with screenshots of alleged text messages between Saweetie and an unknown contact saved as D-Man. The texts were filled with tension and threats. One message read, "You told me it was handled. Why are they still talking?" Another said, "I'm not going down alone if this leaks." The name D-Man sparked wild speculation. Fans immediately assumed it referred to Dre, the same producer who had gone live earlier. Dre himself fueled the fire by tweeting a single word, "Wow." No context, no denial, just that one word. It was enough to reignite everything. Now everyone was convinced he and Saweetie were once more entangled in something messy. Old interviews resurfaced where Saweetie called Dre like a brother. But now those clips were being played in slow motion with dramatic captions like, "A brother turned enemy." As the tension mounted, a new player stepped into the scene, a woman named Leah, who claimed to be part of Saweetie's old PR team. She appeared on a popular talk show and hinted that she had seen it all. When asked directly about the allegations, she said, "I can't confirm everything, but I will say, the image the public sees isn't always what's real. Sometimes people hide behind brand deals and filters." The host pressed her for details, but she refused to go further, saying she had already received warnings. That one word, warnings, made fans lose their minds. People began spinning theories that Saweetie's team was trying to silence everyone connected to the scandal. And then came the biggest twist yet. A hacker group claimed they had accessed private files related to Saweetie's management and would reveal everything if she didn't come forward with the truth. Their message, posted under the name Project Frostbite, spread across social media like wildfire. They claimed to have emails, unreleased footage, and payment records that would change the narrative completely. Fans didn't know whether to believe it, but anticipation was at an all-time high. 2 days later, the group leaked a short clip, a behind-the-scenes moment from what appeared to be a recording session. In the video, Saweetie could be seen arguing with a man off-camera, saying, "You promised to keep that off the books. Do you know what happens if this gets out?" The man's voice was distorted, but some viewers thought it sounded like Dre again. Saweetie looked tense, pacing back and forth, visibly upset. She ended the clip by slamming a door and shouting, "You just messed everything up." The reaction online was explosive. Hashtags like #RSICExposed and Frostbite files took over. Influencers made hour-long breakdowns analyzing her tone, her body language, even the way she closed the door. Every detail became a clue. Some said she was clearly being manipulated. Others argued she was the one pulling the strings. In the middle of all this chaos, Saweetie finally broke her silence. Sort of. She went live on Instagram for just 3 minutes, sitting in a dimly lit room, wearing a hoodie, no makeup. She didn't name names or mention the leaks directly. All she said was, "People love to see you fall when they can't reach your level, but the truth always wins in the end." She stared at the camera for a few seconds, sighed, and ended the live. No explanation, no follow-up. That short live only deepened the mystery. Fans were split right down the middle. One group flooded the comments with hearts and icy emojis saying, "We believe you, Queen." The other half accused her of deflecting and avoiding accountability. TikTok exploded with reaction videos. Creators reenacted her live using dramatic filters, and one clip that compared her silence to a chess move got millions of views overnight. As the week dragged on, things got even more chaotic. Screenshots allegedly showing Saweetie messaging a gossip account surfaced, where she supposedly offered them money to tone down the narrative. The account denied it, saying they'd never been contacted. Still, the rumor spread faster than anyone could control. Her reputation was hanging by a thread, and even her closest friends began distancing themselves publicly. Rumors started that her best friend, Kay, had moved out of the apartment they shared in Los Angeles. Paparazzi even caught Kay outside with her suitcase. When asked if she was still in touch with Saweetie, she just said, "Not right now." The tone was calm but heavy, almost sad. That small phrase, "not right now," was enough to fuel thousands of theories. The following night, Dre posted another cryptic story, a photo of a broken chain on the floor with the caption, "Some bonds can't be fixed." The symbolism was too obvious to ignore. Within minutes, fans were reposting it with icy emojis, connecting it to Saweetie again. The idea of broken loyalty had become the central theme of the entire saga. Then, another twist emerged, this time involving money. Leaked documents began circulating online, supposedly showing payment discrepancies in Saweetie's recent brand deals. According to the documents, funds had gone missing, and insiders whispered that someone was being investigated internally. Nobody could confirm if the papers were real, but they added another layer to the drama. Now, it wasn't just about betrayal and secrets. It was about potential financial scandal. Through all of this, Saweetie maintained silence again. No posts, no lives, nothing. Her Instagram went dark. Her comment section was locked. Even her team went quiet. It felt like she was either planning her next move or hiding from the storm completely. But what the public didn't know was that the real turning point was still to come. Something that would drag every major player in this story back into the spotlight, expose hidden motives, and leave everyone questioning who was truly telling the truth. Because just when it seemed like the controversy was cooling down, someone from inside the circle decided to break the silence completely. And their revelation would make the earlier leaks look like child's play. The silence broke on a quiet Sunday evening when a new Instagram account appeared out of nowhere under the handle Saweetie Truth. At first, nobody paid attention, until it posted a short clip with the caption, "You've only heard half the story." The video began with the sound of muffled laughter. Then Saweetie's unmistakable voice saying, "As long as they don't find out about Vegas, we're fine." The clip was barely 15 seconds long, but that one sentence was enough to send the internet into total meltdown. Fans immediately began speculating what Vegas meant. Was it a secret trip? A deal? A cover-up? People started digging up old tweets and photos from the past few months, searching for clues. Within hours, someone found that Saweetie had been in Las Vegas 3 months ago for what was supposed to be a private brand event. But according to the leaked video, something much darker might have happened. The account Saweetie Truth started posting more clips, each one more damaging than the last. In one, Saweetie was heard arguing with a woman who sounded like Jada, her former assistant. Saweetie's tone was sharp. "You think you can just quit and walk away with everything you know? That's not how this works." Jada's voice shook as she replied, "You can't control people forever." Then, the sound of a door slamming cut the recording short. The internet went wild again. What made this different was the detail. Whoever was behind Saweetie Truth had access to private conversations, unreleased footage, and what looked like personal messages. It didn't feel like some random hacker. It felt like someone close. Fans started theorizing that this wasn't an outside attack at all. It was an inside job. Then, the page dropped something that changed everything. A screenshot of an email exchange between Saweetie and a brand executive, where she allegedly asked for a payment off the books. The email looked real. Corporate header, timestamps, everything. In it, Saweetie supposedly wrote, "Please wire the additional amount to the secondary account, same as last time. TB, same as last time. TB." Hat phrase, "same as last time," sent people spiraling. Did this mean it had happened before? By midnight, the hashtag $Vegas receipts was trending #1. Everyone wanted answers. The next day, Saweetie's legal team finally responded with a short statement, calling the leaks fabricated digital forgeries created with malicious intent. But once again, they didn't provide proof, and the internet wasn't buying it. Screenshots, voice notes, videos, everything looked too real. And the more they denied, the guiltier it seemed. While this chaos unfolded, Dre reappeared with a live video that lasted nearly an hour. This time he wasn't angry. He was calm, almost sad. He said, "I didn't want it to go this far. I really didn't. But some people think they're untouchable. Vegas was the line for me." His words confirmed what fans had suspected. Something serious had gone down in Vegas. Then he dropped a bombshell. He claimed that during that Vegas trip, Saweetie had confronted him and another artist over the rights to a song that allegedly used an unauthorized sample. According to Dre, the argument got so heated that security had to intervene. He said, "That was the night everything changed." After that, it wasn't business anymore. It was war. Immediately, fans began connecting dots. Some even found blurry footage from that same Vegas weekend, showing what looked like Saweetie in a heated discussion near a hotel entrance. People slowed down the video, zoomed in, analyzed body language. Every small detail became a clue in the growing mystery. And then, another unexpected twist came from an unlikely source. Tiana, Saweetie's cousin, who had been silent since her last post. She went live from an unknown location, visibly emotional, saying she was done protecting people who wouldn't do the same. She didn't say Saweetie's name directly, but she didn't have to. Her words hit hard. "There's a reason I distanced myself. I watched things happen that didn't sit right with me. When money and image become more important than truth, you lose yourself." The internet exploded again. Clips from her live flooded every platform, and within hours, everyone was talking about the Vegas truth. But what Tiana said next left even die-hard fans shaken. She said, "She told me if anyone ever tried to expose her, she had enough dirt on them to ruin their lives. That's when I knew she wasn't the same person anymore." Her voice broke mid-sentence, and she ended the live abruptly. That night, an anonymous account sent direct messages to several journalists claiming to have proof that Tiana was telling the truth. A few hours later, one of those journalists, from a major online publication, posted that they had received over 40 gigabytes of material connected to the Saweetie situation. They didn't release it yet, but the threat was enough to send panic across the industry. Other artists began unfollowing Saweetie quietly, trying to distance themselves from whatever was coming next. Paparazzi photos surfaced the next morning showing her leaving her home, looking exhausted, phone pressed to her ear. A witness claimed she was shouting, "Tell them not to release anything." Though the context was unclear, that single quote became another headline. At the same time, Saweetie's management started reaching out to media outlets, warning them not to spread false material. But by now, the public didn't trust official statements anymore. It had become a full-blown scandal, one that seemed too big to control. Meanwhile, Athisa Truth teased one final drop, calling it the moment that will expose everything. Fans waited for days, refreshing the page, desperate to know what would come next. When it finally came, it wasn't what anyone expected. Instead of more audio or screenshots, it was a short video montage with text overlays. The captions read, "Betrayal, silence, fear. The truth isn't icy. It burns." Dramatic music played in the background, and right at the end, a new message appeared on screen. There's someone else behind all of this, and she knows exactly who. The video ended with a blurry photo of what looked like Saweetie standing next to a woman fans couldn't recognize. People enhanced, zoomed, and compared images for hours until someone found an old tag from 2019. A woman named Alana, who had once been a part of Saweetie's team before disappearing from the public eye. Within hours, fans were convinced Alana was the mysterious person behind the leaks. A few days later, a podcast host managed to contact Alana for a short phone interview. When asked directly if she was behind Athisa Truth, she laughed softly and said, "Let's just say the truth always finds its way out." The host pressed her for details, but Alana didn't confirm or deny anything. Instead, she said something that sent chills down everyone's spine. "You think Vegas was bad? Wait until you find out what happened before that." From that moment, the narrative shifted completely. Now, the question wasn't just what happened in Vegas. It was what had been hidden long before that trip even took place. People began revisiting old interviews, old lyrics, and behind-the-scenes clips for secret meanings. One viral TikTok pointed out that in one of Saweetie's songs, she mentioned cold nights in the desert, and now fans were convinced she was referring to the Vegas incident all along. As the frenzy grew, more insiders started speaking up anonymously. One claimed that the Vegas fight wasn't about music at all. It was about control. They said she didn't want anyone else to tell her story. She was willing to do whatever it took to protect her image. Another insider added, "She's not the villain everyone's making her out to be, but she's not innocent either." Through all of this, Saweetie remained silent again, almost as if she was letting the world tire itself out before striking back. Fans waited for a statement that never came. while her team quietly pulled down old posts and postponed appearances. But deep inside the chaos, a final twist was forming, one that involved betrayal, manipulation, and a revelation that would shock even her biggest supporters. Because while everyone was busy arguing about who leaked what, nobody noticed that one of the closest people to Saweetie had disappeared completely. And their return would uncover the darkest truth of all. It happened on a Tuesday night, just as everyone thought the chaos had finally started to fade. For almost a week, there had been no new leaks, no new statements, no new lives. People assumed it was over, that maybe Saweetie had finally settled things privately. But that illusion shattered when Jada, the former assistant who had started much of this mess, came back with a vengeance. She posted a 2-minute voice message on her backup account, and her first words were, "You all have no idea how deep this goes. How deep this goes." Her tone was tired but angry, the kind of anger that comes from years of keeping secrets. She said she had stayed silent because she was scared, not of Saweetie directly, but of the people around her. According to Jada, there was an entire system built to protect Saweetie's image, no matter who got hurt. She claimed that team members were paid off, threats were made, and people who tried to speak out were blacklisted. She said, "They told me I'd never work in the industry again if I talked. But after what I just saw, I don't care anymore." That last line, "after what I just saw," caught everyone's attention. Fans begged her to explain, but Jada didn't post anything else for hours. Then, right around midnight, she went live. Her voice was shaking as she spoke, and the comments flooded with thousands of viewers instantly. She said, "There's one video that no one has seen yet. Vegas was bad, but what happened 2 weeks later was worse." She paused for a long moment, then added, "It wasn't about money. It wasn't about fame. It was about revenge." The chat went crazy. Everyone demanded details, and slowly, she began to tell the story. According to Jada, after the Vegas incident, Saweetie found out someone in her team had secretly recorded her. She was furious. She allegedly called a late-night meeting at her house to confront everyone she suspected. Jada said, "I was there. She had us all sitting in her living room, and she just looked at us one by one. It felt like she already knew who did it, but she wanted to watch us squirm." Jada described how the confrontation escalated. Voices rose, accusations flew, and someone, she wouldn't name who, admitted to sending files to a third party. She said, "Saweetie slammed her phone down and shouted, 'You think you can destroy me? I made all of you.'" Jada said that after that night, 2 people quit immediately, and within days, the rest of the team was ordered to sign new non-disclosure agreements. But that wasn't the shocking part. Jada claimed that Saweetie personally made sure certain files were deleted. Videos, messages, voice notes, that could ruin multiple people, not just her. She hinted that the Vegas drama was only the surface of a much bigger cover-up involving other artists, producers, and even brand executives. She said, "She wasn't the only one guilty. They all played a part, but she was the face, so she took control." As Jada spoke, the live chat filled with people dropping icy emojis, disbelief, and support. Half the viewers called her brave, while others accused her of lying for attention. But before the live ended, she dropped one last bombshell. She said she still had one unreleased clip, something that would end all speculation once and for all. Then she ended the stream abruptly. Overnight, her page vanished. Gone, deleted, wiped clean. No one knew if she took it down herself or if someone forced her to. Fans began posting theories that she'd been silenced again. One fan even claimed to have seen her arguing with 2 men outside a hotel earlier that day. Though it was unconfirmed, the rumor spread like wildfire. The next morning, Saweetie reappeared for the first time in weeks. She posted a single black screen on her Instagram story with white text that read, "Sometimes silence speaks louder than lies." It stayed up for only 10 minutes before disappearing. But it was enough to get people talking again. Some took it as a denial. Others saw it as a subtle threat. And then, out of nowhere, a short clip surfaced online. It wasn't from Jada this time. It was from an anonymous source who uploaded it to multiple platforms at once. The video showed Saweetie sitting at a dining table surrounded by 3 people. One of them looked like Dre. Her voice was low but steady as she said, "We need to make sure this never sees the light of day. If anyone talks, I'll know who." One of the men nodded nervously. The video cut off right after she said, "Trust me, I handle my own." Fans couldn't believe it. Some said the clip was obviously edited, while others argued it was the final proof of everything. People began calling it the dinner tape, and within hours, it had millions of views. Even major media outlets began covering the story. cautiously labeling it the ongoing Saweetie controversy. It had grown so big that even celebrities who had once worked with her were being asked about it in interviews. Most dodged the question, but one, a popular female rapper, said with a knowing smirk, "Let's just say, she's not as icy as she looks." The drama reached its boiling point when Alana, the rumored mastermind behind Athea Truth, reappeared in a podcast episode titled The Frost Melts. She claimed she wasn't doing it for clout, but for justice. She said, "People think this is about music. It's not. It's about people who got hurt and pushed aside while someone else built a brand off their work." She accused Saweetie of manipulating everyone around her, emotionally, financially, and professionally. She ended with, "I don't hate her. I just want her to admit what she did." The interview spread like wildfire. Fans started questioning everything. Was Saweetie a victim of sabotage, or had she really orchestrated the whole thing? The internet was divided in half. For every fan defending her, another one claimed she was finished. Brand deals were now on hold, her label refused to comment, and her Spotify streams dropped noticeably. But just when everyone thought she might disappear completely, Saweetie shocked everyone again. She announced a live event on her YouTube channel titled The Truth. It was scheduled for Friday at 7 p.m. The announcement alone sent social media into chaos. People debated whether she would confess, deny, or expose someone else. When Friday came, millions tuned in. The stream began with soft background music and a dimly lit room. Saweetie walked in slowly, sat down, and looked straight into the camera. She took a deep breath and said, "You've all been told a story, not the truth, but a version made to destroy me. And I stayed quiet because I thought it would protect the people I cared about. But now I see silence only helps the ones who lie." She paused, emotion visible in her eyes. "Yes, I've made mistakes. I've trusted the wrong people. I've said things I regret, but the things being said about me, half of them aren't real. The so-called Vegas story, the leaks, those were orchestrated. Someone close to me wanted to see me fall." She leaned forward slightly. "And now I know exactly who." The chat exploded instantly. She didn't name names, but everyone knew she was talking about Alana. She continued, "You want to know the real betrayal? I helped build careers, I gave people opportunities, and they used them to tear me down." Then, almost in a whisper, she added, "They forgot who taught them the game." The stream lasted less than 15 minutes. She didn't take questions, didn't provide receipts, just walked off screen, leaving viewers stunned. The internet went into chaos again. Some called her performance powerful. Others called it manipulative. Everyone agreed on one thing, though. This was far from over. In the following days, new posts appeared from anonymous accounts hinting that more evidence was coming. Others claimed it was all fake, part of a publicity stunt for Saweetie's upcoming project. But fans weren't sure what to believe anymore. Trust was gone, alliances were broken, and the once glittering image of the icy girl had turned into one of the most polarizing sagas in pop culture. As the dust began to settle, one final voice note leaked, a woman softly saying, "The truth doesn't melt. It waits." Fans couldn't tell who it was, but they swore it sounded just like Saweetie. And just like that, the entire story that started with a few deleted posts had spiraled into something darker, deeper, and far more dangerous than anyone could have imagined. Because in the end, the real question wasn't who leaked what. It was how far someone was willing to go to protect the image they built, even if it meant losing everyone along the way. And as fans kept refreshing her page, waiting for one more update, one thing became painfully clear. The icy world around Saweetie was starting to crack, and what was underneath might never freeze again. And there you have it, the full picture of the wild Saweetie allegations that have everyone talking. From secret recordings to leaked messages, emotional breakdowns, and explosive confrontations, this story has taken twists no one saw coming. But even after all that, the truth still feels hidden somewhere in between the headlines and the heartache. Fans are split. Some believe Saweetie was set up, others think she's been hiding things for years. The industry is whispering, the blogs are digging, and everyone's waiting for her next move. Will she come forward and tell her side of the story? Or will this be one of those celebrity scandals that fades away, leaving us with more questions than answers? Either way, one thing's for sure, this drama has changed everything. Friendships have been tested, trust has been broken, and the icy girl image might never be the same again. People who once called her untouchable are now watching closely, wondering if this is the moment that defines her career or the one that destroys it. But what do you think? Is Saweetie the victim of a brutal setup? Or is there more truth behind the allegations than anyone's willing to admit? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it, because this story is far from over. And if you don't want to miss the next major update, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications right now. You won't want to miss what comes next. Trust me, things are about to get even wilder. Trust me, things are about to get even wilder.